When you got over 3,000 acres of Texas land under your boots, you don't flinch at every rustle in the trees. Coyotes, hogs, rattlers whine through mesquites. That's the natural music of the place, and most days I let it play in the background. But that week I'd planned for quiet. I was heading out to Austin for the Loner Agri Summit, 10 days of cattle genetics, pasture tech, and brisket-fueled handshakes. I left the ranch in good hands, human and digital. Miller's security, as we call it, was no joke. A patchwork of drones, motion sensors, cameras, and backup batteries that'd make a SWAT team jealous. My buddy Tyler, former Marine like me, helped install the whole rig. The north gate had reinforced steel posts and RFID access. The south, that was rugged creekland, so overgrown I hadn't walked it in months. Uncle Raymond used to say the thorns back there could skin a deer faster than a butcher. I didn't worry. No one came through the south. There was no reason to. I had Rick watching the airfield while I was gone, and honestly my last thought pulling away was whether I'd demo irrigation drones or compost injectors first. That changed on day 3 of the summit. My phone buzzed. Motion detected zone S17. I figured maybe a deer, maybe a coon nosing around. Happens all the time. But when I tapped into the live feed, my stomach turned cold. Not a deer, a bulldozer, bright yellow, rolling across my oak belt like it owned the place. Behind it, 2 work trucks, orange fencing, and what looked like a brand new gravel ramp. I flipped through my feeds like a man possessed. Zones S18, S19, S20 all lit up. Earth movers, porta-john survey stakes. Not kids. A full-blown construction crew. I called Tyler, Rick, and Jason. Saddle up. I'm flying home tonight. No questions. Just how many clips? That's the kind of friends I keep. By the time my plane hit altitude, I'd seen the aerial overlay. They'd cleared 80 yards of my woods. Right in the middle, a tent labeled Future Home of Cedar Crest Ridge Private Clubhouse. Yeah, you heard that right. The subdivision next door, Cedar Crest, had decided my fence line didn't matter. Their HOA president, a real estate piranha named Chad Strongwell, figured if a patch of land was quiet long enough, it was his. Boy, was he wrong. I texted the sheriff, my lawyer, then stared out the window as Texas turned blood red beneath me. This wasn't just a boundary dispute anymore. This was war. We landed just after 2 a.m. Jason met me at the airstrip with black coffee and a look that said he already knew. No words needed. We rolled straight down the North Trail. Rick's voice crackled over the radio. They'd poured concrete. 16 workers on site, steel beams stacked, my trees shredded. We stopped at the armory, all right, glorified storage barn, and strapped up. ARs slung safe, badges clipped. Tyler had the drone, Jason synced the sensors. At dawn, we rolled out. 4 ex-Marines in a Jeep, legally armed and legally pissed. They'd bulldozed a whole damn road through my trees. A job site sat there like it belonged, trailers, coffee stations, porta-potties, even AC units. I parked slow, calm. A kid in a hard hat froze when we stepped out. "Morning," I said. "Who gave you permission to build on private land?" He looked like he'd seen a ghost. Then came Kevin Barnes' site manager. Said he had permits from Cedar Crest. I cut him off. "They got no jurisdiction here. This is my land." Jason launched the drone. "You're 83 yards inside his line," he said. Kevin blinked. "Let me call Mr. Strongwell." "You've got 10 minutes, I said. "Then I called the sheriff." I did. Made sure Kevin heard the whole thing. Sheriff Harper showed up 20 minutes later. Kevin tried the easement excuse. Harper didn't flinch. "You have a county permit." "No." "Then you're under arrest." Cuffed him right in front of the porta-john. 2 more guys tried to slip away in a van, didn't make it. I walked to the center of the clearing where my grandfather once planted the first oak of this grove, now just churned mud and rebar. I looked at the workers still standing around. Pack it up. This project's dead. 2 days later, I was sitting with Gina Horton, my attorney, flipping through deed maps and aerial shots. She pointed at a blueprint from Cedar Crest's development plans. They labeled your land as municipal green space. "What?" She nodded. Strongwell submitted it last quarter, claimed it was surplus land. They didn't check. Didn't think a rancher would notice. That afternoon, we filed suit trespassing, illegal construction, environmental destruction. We asked for $650,000. Chad countersued, claimed the boundary was unclear, that I used intimidation, claimed it was a community project. Right. Court was fast. Judge Owens, sharp as a tack, listened as Gina laid it all out, timestamps, drone footage, county maps, bulldozer logs. Chad's lawyers tried the implied easement trick. Gina buried that. Then came the footage, a worker chainsawing my trees. No audio, but you could hear the arrogance. The judge turned to Chad. Did you verify who owned the land? I trusted my team. Wrong answer. We won. $650,000 awarded. All construction halted. Full restoration ordered, soil, trees, the works, or face $5,000 a day fines. Residents of Cedar Crest furious. Turns out their HOA dues funded the spa project without a vote. By week's end, 8 lawsuits had been filed. Half the board resigned. Chad vanished. Then things got nasty. First a strange RFID ping at my north gate, then static on the camera feed. Tyler checked it, wires stripped clean. We reinforced everything. Still, I didn't report it. Maybe some punk. Then 6 of my cows dropped dead. No wounds, no signs of a struggle, just collapsed. Talk screen showed pesticide triazine dumped in the troughs. Deliberate. That night we went full lockdown phase delta. Thermal cams, pressure plates, trip wires. Tyler, Rick, and Jason helped install it all. We waited. 4 nights later, ping. Southern Creek. 3 heat signatures, 1 carrying a bag. Infrared showed them moving slow, deliberate. Not kids, not drunk. Then 1 pulled a crowbar. Tyler hit the floodlights. They froze. And there he was. Chad Strongwell. No suit this time, hoodie boots, and the look of a man who thought he'd win. Sheriff Harper arrived in 9 minutes. Chad and his 2 goons were cuffed on the spot. The bag, bolt cutters, sulfuric acid, and spray paint. Charges included sabotage, trespassing livestock, poisoning, a federal offense in Texas. This time, no countersuit, just handcuffs and silence. In court, Chad's lawyers tried everything, mental distress, provocation, even claimed the chemicals weren't his. But the jury didn't buy it. The evidence wasn't suggestive. It was surgical. And then the nail in the coffin, a surprise witness. Alan Boyd, former HOA treasurer, testified. Chad tried to reclassify HOA funds and threatened him when he refused. The courtroom froze. Verdict came fast. Guilty, on all counts. Sentenced to 12 years 7 without parole. Cedar Crest Ridge dissolved within the month. Their assets liquidated. The spa land turned over to the county. I didn't feel victorious, just steady. We replanted oaks, 1 for every cow. Then one afternoon a U-Haul showed up. A young couple, first new neighbors. The man stepped out, planted a private driveway, no trespassing sign, asked if it was okay. I smiled. If your paperwork's solid, you're doing it right. His wife leaned out the car window. We heard about the rancher with the cameras. Sounds wild. Sounds exaggerated, I said, but not by much. Before I left, he asked, got any advice for first-time landowners? I paused. Yeah. Never mistake silence for surrender, and never trust a man who calls himself a visionary until you've seen his property lines. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Was justice served? Should HOA boards have more oversight? Or is this just what happens when ambition goes unchecked? Let me know down in the comments.